Ken, thank you for going through and examining everything for us. Everyone within the company is very pleased with your work, and even the higher-ups are talking a lot now. I had never wanted to work with you, Ken. And it made me upset having you around with us since we should be able to handle this work on our own. But the work you have put in has helped us a lot so far, and I look forward to eventually getting this project completed. Well, I still have to talk with some of my people about all of this. So I can't say everything for now, but I don't want any of my work to affect you after you and I have known one another since high school. So I plan to do only what I can here, without it becoming a problem. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad to see that you're still so considerate of me. And another thing, your wedding is coming up soon, right? Congratulations on that. Have you gotten the invitation from me yet? I feel a bit embarrassed asking that, actually. And I have already invited a bunch of other people from back in high school. So I bet this will feel more like a class reunion than an actual wedding for everyone. A class reunion, huh? There's no problem with that. I'm looking forward to this wedding class reunion. If this whole business discussion that we've had ends up falling through in the end, you and I are still friends, right? Of course, man. I'm not gonna get work mixed up in our personal life, okay? Thank you, Ken. I'm the kind of guy that likes to regard all of his friends as more important than his work, actually. No, I'll be looking forward to that wedding of yours. And I'll make sure to reply to your invitation before then.
Can I talk with you for a moment, Ken?
This must be Joshua's wife, right?
That's right. I plan to have a surprise ready for him, and so I've made a group chat for all of us to discuss it in. And in that group chat, I heard a few things about you from someone. Is it true that you never went to college?
Yes.
Well, if that's really the case for you, then I think it may be a mistake having you at the wedding. What do you think?
Can you tell me what all of this is about right now? I did skip out on going to college, but...
Well, Ken, you do realize that Joshua is part of the elite, right?
Yeah, I understand that. I think out of all my friends from back in high school, he was the one that tried his hardest.
Then do you think you can take a moment to think about who you are compared to him?
Who am I compared to him?
There's no way a high school graduate would ever be friends with someone that's elite, right? And do you think that you can come to his wedding when you're not his real friend? Well, that's ridiculous, right?
Wait, what? Is this you trying to say that because I never went to college, you don't want me coming to your wedding?
Well, to say it straight, yes. I want to know why you think you can even come to the wedding. And what would you even do if you came?
I never thought I'd be told something like that. Mariah, are you sure it wasn't just Joshua that told you I graduated from high school and finished my education there?
He wasn't the one that told me.
So that means he's not the one telling you these sorts of things, and making you feel as though you need to mess with me for it. Well, if he has nothing to do with this, and hasn't said anything about me not going to college, then don't you think you should stay out of it, considering you're not my friend?
Shut up, Ken. You're just a garbage loser.
Excuse me?
I went through and checked to see where everyone graduated from college. And I had heard from a friend in that surprise group chat about you. But I never thought that in his group of all his good buddies, you were there and never even managed to get a higher education. If you were to come to our wedding as the loser you are, then the whole wedding would go to waste. You don't want to ruin your friend's important wedding, do you? Well, if you don't want to, then give up on coming and stay away.
Give up on coming? But I was given an invitation by Joshua to be there. I've already called and said that I'll be coming. And so I have a seat prepared for me.
Then call and say you're not feeling too well and that you can't come or something like that. If you can't make up some kind of excuse, then just don't show up and say nothing.
I will not do something so rude.
Are you not aware that you coming to the wedding would be way more rude of you?
No, you stop all of that, please. I've never heard of anyone telling the guests they can't come to their wedding because they never went to college. I'm happy that you're worried about Joshua that much, but if you keep trying to get me to stay away, I'm gonna have to tell him.
If you come to the wedding, you're going to regret it, surely. So I think you should stop now before you become more embarrassed than you've ever been before.
I'm done talking now.
You idiot. By now you have to understand me, right? A loser that's never gone to college should never come to this wedding.
Don't you feel like you've gone too far now as the bride? You just poured beer all down my head and body because you think it's okay to look down on me?
Well, you are a loser, right? And my husband does not need to be friends with a low-life garbage.
I know that you're on your high chair now thinking you've won, but was there really any merit to you doing this? This is a bit difficult to ask, but don't you feel like a huge idiot yourself now?
Say whatever you'd like, Ken. I'm married to an elite man and will become a celebrity myself now in his world. And now that we are going to become a power couple, we have to rethink who our true friends should be. We wouldn't want people that are scummy to be around my husband and I in case they ever start coming to us asking for our large amounts of money or something. So that's why I'm making sure we cut ties with all his loser friends right now.
So this is you trying to protect Joshua from me? Or rather, you're trying to protect his money? Do you think by doing this, Joshua will be happy with you?
You losers are all so annoying to talk to.
And do you think anyone that's never been to college is an automatic loser? I think you, finding that someone who's never gone to college to be a loser, is a bit immature of you.
Say whatever you want to, as you've already lost. My elite husband will have no friends that never choose to make themselves useful in this society. Having beer spilled all over you should have opened your eyes to that, and now you can leave, right?
Then, I'm gonna do as you wish and go home.
I won't.
I was in the middle of handling Joshua's company's finances and properties, but you could tell him that I'll be ending my work with him for good now.
Huh?
I'll let him know myself as well, but you should also let him know the good news. Tell him that you poured beer all over his friend and partnering company's CEO. Then tell him to leave, as well as ruin his chances of creating any sort of business between the two companies.
Hold on a sec. What are you saying? Poured beer all over his partner company's CEO?
I'm talking about myself. I'm the CEO of his company he was partnering with. Understand?
What the hell are you talking about? There is absolutely no way a loser that never went to college and got a degree could ever become a CEO.
Well, I have become one. I was the one that started this company, and did so well with my work that it's huge now. And because of all my work, I live a life where I don't have to be called a loser, or a lowlife. As everyone else was using their money and loans to go to college and get a higher education there, I used my money and time to make a company, and put all my blood and sweat into it.
Wait a second, are you serious? You are an actual CEO?
That's right, Mariah. And Joshua was given a project that requires a lot of work, and was asked to partner with my company to start looking into how to get that project completed with all our combined strengths. And while him and I were working on discussing things like the finances going into the work, he invited me to come to his wedding. But now I'm gonna have to cancel all our talks about partnering up, after what you've done.
Huh? Cancel your talks? What do you mean by all of that?
A lot of the people at the wedding are involved with those talks, and the project that's supposed to be worked on. But now that I'm not willing to do any more work with Joshua and his company, this was a huge loss. I'm sure when they hear the news of that here soon, they'll all walk out of the wedding as well. And I don't blame them, considering they'll have just lost the chance to make some major income with my company's help.
You're lying, right? There's no way this is anything other than a prank, right?
Why would I joke about this? I already told your husband, by the way. I told him that our talks are over.
Wait, Ken? He is really pissed with me right now. He's going off about how he's going to have this whole wedding canceled now and all that. That makes no sense.
It makes total sense, Mariah. Because of you, you just ruined a huge business deal. And I'm sure this is gonna cause him a great deal of trouble now when he has to go in and talk with his boss about this. And any chance of him getting a promotion or raise is out the window now. So him being pissed about all of this is totally normal.
So that's the reason why? I never knew a thing about the work you did in your position there. That's the only reason I was a small bit rude to you.
A small bit, you say? Are you sure about that? I feel you were more than a small bit rude to me, Mariah.
But that was all because of me being a bit rude, right? None of what happened between you and I had anything to do with his job.
And one could definitely see it that way.
So don't treat this as a reason to punish him and get back to making that business deal.
But I'm the kind of business owner that finds the relationship among people as very important. I was working with the company he's in to help make my company some money, but I was also doing it because he's an old friend of mine from high school. But seeing that you're the kind of woman he's willing to be married to, I don't think I want to work with him any longer. So I'm going to stop all efforts to make any deal with him, and will not be around to aid in his company's project.
You can't just do that to him because of someone like me, though. I just thought that you were some kind of low-life idiot, and
you used that as your excuse to pour beer all over me? You really thought it was okay to do something as rude as that then, huh? That kind of thinking is a real shame.
I didn't mean for things to end up this way, though. Right now, Joshua knows about what's happened and is really considering ending this whole wedding. If he goes through with it, then my special day will be ruined. And I bet that he'll even want to end things between him and I.
Well, if that's what he'd like, then I'll support him.
What are you saying? You're a jerk, Ken. Don't you want to become good friends with him again and get to know me a bit more now? This is all your fault for all this happening, so you should be trying to save things between us now.
Oh, please. Was I the one talking down to myself and pouring beer all over my head today? You acting like not knowing the kind of person I am was a good excuse for doing all that is not going to work. Is pouring beer onto someone you don't know normal to you, Mariah?
Even still, I was worried like hell about things. I wanted to make sure that my wedding would be perfect, but you were here.
So you thought pouring beer on me would make your wedding perfect? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're trying to say right now. What would you like me to do?
Come back here and make everyone calm down.
Huh? Me?
Tell them that you spilled that beer on yourself and that I'm a great person. And then follow up by saying you'll continue to work on the business deal and that this wedding should get back underway. If you tell them all that, they'll listen, right? Explain that this was all a misunderstanding.
You know that everyone is aware that this is what you wanted, right? Now, I'll be going.
Wait! Are you really planning to leave me behind when I'm in this much trouble?
Leave you behind? I was never with you in the first place, right? Do you not remember what you've done to me today?
Please, just forgive me. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that this wedding gets back on track.
Oh, is that so?
Joshua is an elite employee working for an amazing company. I already bragged about being with him to all my friends and family. And now my friends and family have been bragging about me to other people. They all think of me as the girl that was chosen by a man with a lot of money.
Mariah, that to me seems like you only want to marry him because of his money and job.
Huh?
You want to be with him because you could brag, right? You could brag all you want because he's an elite, right? I'm sure that someone like you will even end up cheating on him one day.
What the hell are you talking about? If he and I end up getting a divorce, it'll be all your fault. It's because you told everyone that the business deal was off that this is all happening.
Well, if that's what you think, why did you go ask Joshua what he thinks? If you both think the same thing, that I'm to blame for all of this, then I'll be willing to make things right again for you both. But I don't think he sees it that way. I'm sure he won't divorce you though, because he still loves you. That's why he married you. So really, it's you that wants to leave him now because he'll have no chance of getting a promotion and making even more money, right? Maybe it's time you go have that chat with him, Mariah.
Can you please just come here and help us figure this all out?
No, thank you.
Why not? I'm asking you to help me and you're saying no thank you?
What you did today was completely stupid, and you need to be punished for that. And I will not help you avoid said punishment.
You won't help me. You're lying, right? I was finally going to start my dream life as a married woman.
You go and try your best talking with your now upset husband, okay? I'm not going to be seeing you anymore now, I believe. But you should be pretty upset with yourself for calling me a low-life loser, because I never went to college, right? Even though I'm really on the same level, if not higher than your elite husband, right? If you have really had all that time to judge others and have such a bias, then maybe you should have used that time to make yourself into a better person. Good luck trying to find another man to marry you after this.
In the end, Mariah and Joshua didn't even bother talking things through, and the wedding was called off, leaving all the guests that arrived even more upset. Joshua spoke with his family about what happened, and they all agreed that she was only with him because of his money, and so he ended up divorcing her. After the divorce was finalized, Joshua went back to Ken to tell him he was thankful for helping him open his eyes to the true person that Mariah was, and made sure that they were both still friends. Ken did cancel the talks their companies had with one another, but now that Mariah was no longer with Joshua, Ken got back to work making an agreement between them to work on that project. And this time, it seems like those talks will work out and a contract will be formed. It really was a great thing that the marriage between Joshua and Mariah fell apart. As for Mariah, after the divorce, she no longer had a place to call home, and her parents kicked her out as well, so she's been having to live on the streets now. Such a poor thing, but that's the punishment she needed to be rewarded with.